In the basement archive of the British Museum, behind locked glass and a humidity-controlled vault, there rests a small clay tablet about the size of a paperback. Book catalog number K2486. It was excavated from the ruins of the Library of Ashurbanipal at Nineveh in the 1850s and shipped to London by Austin Henry Layard for decades. It sat in quiet obscurity inside museum overflow storage labeled simply as astronomical fragment. Neo-Assyrian partial. Most of the cuneiform tablets recovered from that library are exactly what they seem to be: receipts, royal correspondence, omen lists, routine records of an ancient war. 2486 was assumed to be no different, just another scribe practicing star catalogs. It was not in 1973. A young researcher named Herman Hunger, while sorting through unsorted material, noticed something strange. One column of text repeated an unusual phrase, phrase that translates with all the caution required for ancient languages as the place where the star fell into the sky, not from the sky, into the Sumerian preposition, is unmistakably precise. Hunger flagged the anomaly, photographed the tablet, and moved on. The moment passed unnoticed. It would take more than 40 years before anyone realized what that phrase might truly mean, because in 2019 humanity saw something for the first time. Astronomers working with the Event Horizon Telescope released the first direct image of a black hole laid dark presence at the heart of galaxy M87, 55 million light-years away. Alongside that image, they quietly released coordinates of potential black hole candidates within our own galaxy. Stars were no longer stars, objects that had collapsed inward, dragging their own light down into darkness. One of those coordinates located within the constellation Sagittarius sits within a single degree of a position recorded on K2486. A position is tied to a mysterious object the Sumerians called Molan Shubaith, fallen sky star, the star that went into the sky and never returned. What they described in clay over 2,500 years ago aligns disturbingly with what modern astronomy has only recently begun to observe, and the question no museum label dares to ask is simple and unsettling: how did they know? Now look closer. At the tablet itself, K2486 belongs to a broader family of texts known as Mol, APIN. Technically, it is not part of the main compilation. It draws from older Sumerian sources and dates in its current form to the 7th century BC. The Molapin texts are among the most advanced astronomical records of the ancient world. They catalog 71 stars and constellations, track their rising and setting times, and provide predictive mathematical frameworks for planetary motion. This Science K2486 acts as a supplement. It records a category called Skakabu Sharu stars that were not sign objects expected to be visible based on prior records, but missing from the sky. Most entries have logical explanations: faint stars misidentified, objects, transient phenomena like comets, Babylonian. Astronomers understood these differences and categorized them carefully, but K2486 introduces something else. ELCA third category stars, once known to be permanent, yet no longer visible. There are 9 such entries that can be explained. One cannot. Molan Shubit's entry stands apart in 3 profound ways. First, the position the text places it relative to known stars in Sagittarius. When translated into modern coordinates, it falls directly within the region of the galactic center, the most dense and energetic region of the Milky Way, the location of Sagittarius, a star, the supermassive black hole anchoring our galaxy. Second, the description the verb used is shapu, meaning poured out or drained downward, not faded, not dimmed, poured out like liquid emptied from a vessel. This is not gradual disappearance. This is sudden loss. Third, the time the record points back to the reign of an early king of the Ur III dynasty, roughly 2000 BCE. An observation over 4,000 years old, describing an event too precise to be casual. For decades, scholars offered safe explanations as supernova, misinterpreted day, meteor remembered incorrectly, a scribal error passed down through generations, none fully convincing. Strong enough to reopen the case until 2001 for a graduate student named Asha Patel at Cambridge ran the coordinates through modern star catalogs. She expected minor errors. Instead, she found nothing. No visible star at Albert. The sky was not empty. The position aligned within minutes of Arc 2, a powerful X-ray source identified as a Magnetara, collapsed stellar remnant near the galactic center. Also lay among regions dense with candidate black holes invisible to optical observation. What she uncovered was extraordinary, an ancient record describing a star disappearing in precisely the region where modern science detects the remnants of collapsed stars. Her work was rejected multiple times before being published in reduced form. The verdict from reviewers was consistent, intriguing, but speculative. Now, the truth must be faced honestly. There is no way an ancient astronomer could directly observe a black hole. They emit no light. The concept itself did not exist until modern physics, but there is something they could have seen: the violent death of a massive star, a core collapse, supernovae, an explosion so bright it outshines entire galaxies, followed by sudden disappearance as the core collapses into darkness. To an ancient observer, a star would blaze with impossible brilliance, then vanish forever, not fade, not dim, but be poured out of the sky. The language fits with unsettling precision. There is Sumerian Chinese records speak of guest stars, objects that appeared suddenly and vanished after weeks or months. These records have been used to identify known supernova remnants, such as the Crab Nebula. Among earlier records is a description translated as the Lord's star that became a hole. The translation debated the meaning, uncertain, but when reconstructed, its position lies within the same region of sky as Mullen Shabatwu, civilization separated by distance and language recording. A similar event in the same part of the sky. Then comes a third thread: Greek astronomy and catalogs preserved through Ptolemy references appear to stars that no longer exist. One such missing star in Sagittarius lies within the same dense region near the galactic center. 3 independent traditions, 3 different eras. 1. Region of sky 1, pattern A star, once, there, now, and then the story turns K to 486. It's not displayed publicly, it remains in storage access, tightly controlled. Requests from independent researchers have been denied, citing fragility. Requests from credentialed Assyriologists have been approved. Astronomers cannot read the text. Assyriologists cannot verify the astrophysics. The gap remains. Excavation notes add another layer. The tablet was originally found bundled with others inside a sealed container marked with the seal of the king's astronomer, yet K2486 was separated during cataloging. The reason eligible: the tablets from the same bundle belong to a restricted class of text secret knowledge marked explicitly against unauthorized reading. Why was Mullen Shuba stored among them? Now consider the present. The galactic center is a region of intense gravitational chaos. Thousands of compact objects, black holes, neutron stars orbit within. Occasionally, one consumes a star, a tidal disruption event, a burst of energy visible across vast distances, but real modern astronomy has never recorded one in our galaxy. But our observational history is incredibly short. Such an event occurred 4,000 years ago. It would appear exactly as described: a sudden brilliant star, then nothing, light poured out, gone forever, and the black hole remains. There is one final detail among the tablets. In that same sealed bundle is a fragment not yet translated. Photographs show a diagram to concentric circles, a central point lines distorted by gravity. The fragment remains outward, unpublished, held in conservation review for over a decade now. The grounded conclusion: Melon is most likely a supernova described in unfamiliar language. The correlations are compelling, but not definitive. Evidence suggestive, not conclusive, yet something remains difficult to ignore them. Precision of the description, the deliberate categorization, the choice of words. These were not careless observers. They tracked the sky with discipline and method, and they saw something that did not fit their system. They did not ignore it. They created a new category: the star that was poured out into the sky and did not. RETUR and K2486 remains in storage. The diagram remains unpublished. The region remains active, and the universe continues. Stars collapse. Light vanishes. Darkness grows. Now, for the first time, we are beginning to see what they may have witnessed long ago. Star here, then no starlight draining into the sky.